From the New York City area, welcome to the Badass Counseling Show, where the master badass himself, Sven takes you deep and gives balm for the soul, baby.
Hello, listeners. It's great to have you here. You have reached the Badass Counseling Show. It's great to have you with us once again for yet another show. I have Rob the Rocket joining me and KC as well. Rob is next to me. KC is not in the booth. She is joining us remotely. I'm Sven Erlandson, your host for another counseling episode. And wherever you are tuning in from, whether it is the Susquehanna, the Rappahannock, or the Ogonquit, if you are on a river, whether it be fishing, walking, ice skating, or, I don't know, swimming this time of year, probably a little early for that, you brave birds, you. It's lovely to have you here. Rob.
Sir.
What say ye?
Rolling on the river, as usual, my friend. So good that we're getting back into it. You know, glad that we got through the winter. Here it is springtime. And it seemed like everybody had a cold for 3 or 4 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
We still have a few vestiges of that, but I can handle it in post, so don't worry.
It was a heck of a winter. A lot of snow, a lot of rough weather, especially out here on the East Coast.
Yeah, here we go.
Here we go. And we have KC. KC, what do you say?
I'm doing great. How are you, Sven?
Lovely. Thank you for asking. Appreciate
Awesome.
it. All right. Well, Rob, why don't you go ahead, please, and tell us about our guest, Raven.
I'm happy to, Sven. Certainly. Raven wrote in and said, I have done therapy. I watch tons of therapists and coaches online, but you have been the one who has most helped me challenge my thinking, and your insight resonates with me. I'm 48. I was married at 21, divorced in 2009, and remarried in 2013. It has been extremely lonely and painful in both. The first was violent, manipulative, being cheated on, and he had porn and alcohol addictions. I thought my current marriage was perfect until 5 years ago when he emotionally cheated on me with a coworker. He refuses to discuss issues, I get the silent treatment, and he has an addiction to spending money. I started realizing I thought it was perfect because he wasn't as bad as my first husband. I realized the destructive parts of my dad show in both men I married. I struggle with why I allow this and why I do everything thinking if I'm a good wife, they will be good in return. I struggle with not listening to my intuition and setting boundaries and following through.
Raven, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
It's great to have you on. Heck of a history there with your marriages, and you're presently married and enduring addiction to spending and being cheated on and just sort of shit all the way around. And you say you've recognized destructive parts of your dad shown in both men. What's top of the list as far as destructive parts in these men that you recognize from your dad? What's top of that list?
Well, Dad was an alcoholic, so addiction, and he was very passive, was not emotionally available whatsoever, and absent.
Got it. And not emotionally available. Did you notice that when you were dating this present husband?
In the beginning, I did. He just seemed mysterious, so I kind of just went with it.
What was the duration of time between when you and the first husband sort of stopped spending time together and when you started dating this particular husband?
It was probably about a year between the two.
Got it. Okay. And then you also mentioned they have both cheated on you. One was a cheating, presumably a normal involved sex and so forth. The second one was an emotional cheating on you.
Yeah.
Which for you, and there's no right or wrong answer, all right? I'm just curious, for you, which was worse?
The emotional.
And why is that?
He was discussing, his stresses and stuff to her and not me, his wife, opening up.
And you don't mean just the stresses with regard to your marriage. You just mean in general, or do you mean specifically the stresses of the marriage, or what?
He did discuss marriage, our kids, and just, stress, in general.
And why does it hurt so much to have your spouse discussing his inner life and his stresses with someone other than you, his wife? Why does that hurt so much?
Because he didn't share that part of him with me.
Right. Which is really interesting, isn't it? Well, okay, let me back it up. Did he ever share that part of himself with you?
Not really. No, he's the type that just bottles everything up.
But he's not. But he's not. See, that's the interesting thing.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's acting. You almost want to say, well, he's not that type, but he is that type. He's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like this is some grand, like out of character thing. We don't know what his character is because he's clearly quite fluent in doing it with this other person. It's just, and he's quite good at it, presumably sharing his feelings. It's not like, oh, I'm not a feelings guy. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
He just chooses not to do it with you. I have to ask, had you asked him in your relationship to open up and share what's going on with him to you?
Yes. And he has been in therapy for a year now, and it's getting a lot better.
But wait a minute. Again, his sharing his feelings and his stresses, he didn't need therapy for. He wasn't he? I mean, he was already doing that. He knows how. He knows the mechanics of how to share his feelings and his anxieties and what I really want and what's troubling me. He knows how. He's doing it with his mistress, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then it's really interesting. So I'm just curious, what's your theory as to why he never did that with you? You asked him to. And he basically said, fuckaroo, I'm not interested in sharing it with you. I'm gonna share it with somebody else. So he can't say, oh, I don't know how to do that. Gee, me not know how, no. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
Why do you think he didn't share it with you?
When we discussed it, and I've seen it too, where his parents, they don't communicate, and the dad would always, complain to other people about the marriage issues or whatever issues. And, that's part of it, that's kind of what was modeled to him. And then also he is so conflict avoiding. He avoids conflict at all. I mean, he's the nicest guy, he avoids conflict. So I think it was easier for him to share that with someone. I don't know, he says they were friends, but hiding someone from me, talking to them, that to me goes farther than that. But he said, it was just a friend. I was just, venting.
Well, of course he's going to say that. I mean, no, I shared my secrets with her because she was so special to me. He's not going to fucking say that. No. And it hurt you is the bottom line. And if he, trying to defend himself, no, it's not cheating, but for you it is. So then what does that say about your definition of cheating? What is your definition of cheating? Because he's claiming he didn't, pork her in the butthole or anything. So what is your definition then of cheating? Having
someone of the opposite sex that you're talking to that, your wife doesn't know about, and you're purposely hiding it. To me, it doesn't have to be sexual talk. And then also, emotional talk, sharing feelings, stuff like that.
Okay. So you basically said it's two things. One, it's opposite sex it's opposite sex or it's sex of attraction. Because if you were gay, it could be, whoever you're attracted to,
sure.
right?
Absolutely.
Your gender of attraction, you're sharing feelings and talking to and sharing feelings, and it's secret. Okay. So those three things, right. And that's pretty accurate. Okay. And so then that's clearly what's going on here. And for him, it's like, no. I didn't do anything wrong. But what he can't explain, even if he were to make that claim, what he can't explain is, why was it secret then, motherfucker? If it's so innocent, why was it secret?
He said that he knew that, I would probably get upset.
Yeah, no shit. No shit. And you chose to do it anyway. Why would I get upset? Because it hurts my feelings, because you're sharing your feelings with someone other than me. Yeah, it hurts my feelings. You're right. So you are choosing to do something, that hurts my feelings. All right. Well, then at the end of your write-up that you sent in to us, you said, I struggle with why I allow this and why I do everything, thinking if I'm a good wife, they'll be good in return. Then you say this, I struggle with not listening to my intuition, setting boundaries, and following through. I struggle with not listening to my intuition. What is your intuition saying that you're struggling with?
Well, gosh, like in both marriages, my intuition was like, this shouldn't be like this. And, and just intuition of like, hey, I get the feeling that they are doing something they shouldn't. And and speaking up for myself, you should be speaking up. And
And so you basically just said three things. One, it shouldn't be this way. Two, I got a feeling they're doing something bad. And three, I should be speaking up. So which of those three things do you struggle with most with your intuition? Is, gee, it shouldn't be this way. Two, they're up to some shenanigans or really bad things. Or three, the speaking up part.
it shouldn't be this way.
So when you say you struggle with your intuition is saying it shouldn't be this way, and you're saying, yes, it should?
Yeah. Keep pushing forward.
I see. And so let me ask you, what's the reason you think you should keep pushing forward?
Because I love him. And, I want to make it work.
And the reason you want to make it work, it's great that you want to make it work. Nothing wrong with that. What's the this is going to sound weird, but what's the reason you want to make it work? What's the real reason you want to make it work?
To have that life partner that I chose.
Yes. And what would happen if you didn't have that life partner?
Be devastated.
Okay. Then what happens if either he chose to walk away from you or you chose to walk away from him? What happens? What is your life if you don't have that life partner?
Scary.
What's the scariest part about if you don't have that life partner?
Just not having that person I fell in love with.
Right. But what is that reality like? What is your life like without that person that was your first husband, and then without that person that is your second husband? What is your life like that's so scary?
Just being abandoned, I guess.
Okay.
Like I wasn't good enough, that that'll say that, you weren't good enough.
And am I to assume that your first husband left you?
I actually left him, which I still look back and don't know how I did it or
how did you do it in one sentence or less? How did you do it?
He went on the road for a job, and I noticed how happy me and the kids were when he was gone. And I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, but that meant you would be alone and you'd be devastated and you wouldn't have your life partner and you'd be abandoned and you'd be not good enough.
Right.
So why were you able to do it?
I still don't know. I really.
And so why were you able to do it? Knowing you had to face all of those realities, that you'd be devastated and that you were abandoned. And I'm going to feel abandoned. I'm going to feel like I'm not good enough, but I'm choosing it anyway because
I felt that, it would be worse staying in that, I couldn't. It would be better to be lonely than to stay in that with an abusive man.
Okay, better to be lonely. And so then is it safe to say then, is that the thing that you fear the most? Is it in being alone, in being abandoned, in being alone, is it the being lonely part that hurts the most, that is the scariest part? Or is it that when you're alone, all of those voices rise up in you that say, see, you're not good enough. See, you're unlovable. See, you're a loser. See, you're unwantable. Which is it? Is it the loneliness and, gee, I want someone? Or is it those voices that have been there probably your whole life?
It's the voices.
It's the voices.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so let me ask you a strange question then.
Mm-hmm.
What percent of what keeps you in this relationship? Because this guy,
Mm-hmm.
not your present one, not only had that emotional affair, he was having this strong emotional connection with a coworker, and he refuses to discuss issues. So he doesn't even want to open up. We now know he can open up. We now know he can discuss issues, and he's quite fluent in it. It's like, holy shit. It's like saying, wait, you know Japanese? How the hell do you know Japanese? Where did you learn Japanese? He knows Japanese. You've been wanting him to speak Japanese to you because you grew up with parents who spoke Japanese. You're a fluent Japanese speaker, but he doesn't want to speak Japanese to you. And now you know he speaks fluent Japanese. You say, no, I don't want to speak Japanese.
Yeah.
It's like, you motherfucker. Oh, so we know he can speak that language of feelings, but he refuses to discuss issues. So you get the silent treatment, and he has addiction to spending money. Ooh.
That actually stopped a few years ago, which is good. But it was like, the addiction piece that, showed from my dad,
Yeah, so then how is his itch being scratched? His itch... people ask me all the time, will it cheat or cheat again? And what I tell them is yes, with two caveats. One caveat is unless they go down to the deep childhood issues that are causing the cheating. And it is childhood shit. It's a hole in that love cup. So either they go down and they heal that, or they're going to find something new that also has the power to blow up the relationship. It may not be cheating, but it might be gambling. It might be, over-parenting, overworking, over-exercising. It might be a gambling addiction, or it might be spending money, or it might be porn. It might be whatever. So where is his energy going if he doesn't have a woman on the sly, and if he's not spending all this money? What the hell's he doing? I'm just curious. Or is he flying the straight and narrow?
He actually, since he started therapy, he doesn't see his friends. He talks to them because he knows that, like, he kind of at times were influenced by them. He said he wants to devote this time to, like, being with me. And he has been present. He helps me cook. He's been amazing.
What is when you say he refuses to discuss issues, what issues above all else are we really talking about that he doesn't want to talk about?
It's just conflict. If we have a difference in opinion, or it's just, fawns or freezes and just shuts down, and it
but
can
isn't that
days.
What you were saying is the same issue that you have a problem with, the idea of speaking up?
Yeah, in a sense. Yeah.
Because you say you struggle with your own intuition, and your intuition is saying, speak up, and you don't speak up. So how are you any fucking better?
Right.
I'm asking.
I do. No, and that's true. I have tried to be more quiet and not rock the boat, to not rock the marriage. There have been times, though, that I speak up way too much.
Okay. And when you say you speak up way too much, is that sort of code for saying that you can be like antagonistic and critical and shit like that? Or what do you mean when you say you speak up way too much?
Just kind of yelling, like, why? And then trying to explain, like, how it affects, us and, the issues that.
And you're yelling, why? You're not just saying why. The reason you're yelling, I'm assuming, is because you're all cooked up on feelings, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so then on your side of the equation, you have to fucking learn to bleed out all of your emotions on your own time. And none of us is ever perfect in the moment, but you're going to have a much higher likelihood in the moment of being calm if you've bled out as much emotion through your journaling, through your letter writing, through with your therapist, right? So that when you're present in the moment, you can catch yourself at least. Even if you start yelling, you can catch yourself and you can say, I'm sorry, sweetheart. Go ahead and back yourself down, right?
Yep.
Right. And is he getting better at discussing or opening up, or is he not showing any improvement?
It's crazy because last few weeks he's shown amazing improvement. And I'm actually starting to realize, like, my faults and stuff, where he feels defeated,
Wait, your faults cause him to feel defeated?
Yeah.
And
So
we're going to take a quick break, but right after we come back, we're going to find out which fault of yours most causes him to feel defeated.
yeah.
I counseled with Badass Counseling for about 4 months, and Sven completely turned my life around. He kicked my butt. No shit. He made me do homework too, but I was so ready for a change that I just did it all. I'm telling you, he changed my life. Thank you so much, Badass Counseling.
This show provides soul counseling intended to entertain and inform and is not medical advice. Now, back to the badass.
We are back with Raven. All right, Raven. We've all been waiting. What is it that you do that causes him to most feel defeated?
I've just been wanting him to open up. I'm expecting it to happen. And I constantly bring it up to him, like, why can't you connect emotionally with me? And I'm kind of hammering it. Impatient, I guess.
And the reason you're impatient is what? Why do you want it now? Why are you constantly bringing it up?
Because I know now, by me being in counseling with my amazing therapist, that I can't be in a marriage with no emotional connection, not being able to work through problems together.
Mm-hmm. And that's right. And your therapist is spot on, and you are right on that. However, what you're doing by constantly bringing it up and the yelling, why? And if you have a history of pressuring him, why? God damn it, why? What the fuck? And then now you may not be yelling now, but the constant hectoring, you're creating a pressure situation.
Mm-hmm.
And whether it's sex or whether it's opening up emotionally, creating a pressure situation on a guy in which he has to perform makes it harder.
Right.
Okay, makes it more difficult. And hopefully on his side, his therapist pressing him, hey, you got to push through those harder times. Even in the pressure, you got to struggle, you got to open up. But on your side, you got to fix your shit to bring the fucking temperature down a bit, dude.
Right.
And trusting the process, because you're wanting results now. You and your therapist are spot on. You don't have to tolerate that shit in a relationship, but you also can't force it. You can't force it. There was a beautiful book that had read to me when I was a kid. My parents read it to me, and then I read it to my own children, and then my daughter and her wife, when they had the twins, I got a copy of it for them. It's called The Carrot Seed. The Carrot Seed, yes. And it's about it's the simplest little book for like a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old. And it's about a little boy who plants a carrot seed. And he goes out and he looks at his carrot seed and he tends the soil every day. And everyone says, I don't think it's going to come up. It won't come up. It won't come up. And then on the very last pages, it comes up and it's a giant carrot bigger than him. And he wheels it away in a wheelbarrow. And he basically says, I knew it would come up. And it's a little study in patience and forcing things. The best things are when they're not forced. And when you'll know you've begun to master yourself when you can let it go, not from the relationship, but trusting that when it comes, you'll know. And when it comes, it'll be right. But also knowing for yourself, I'm not waiting forever, and I don't have to. But here's the problem for you, where you're really fucked, is you have this giant fear that keeps you in this relationship. So you're not operating from a place of power. You're operating from a place of weakness. You're afraid of leaving. Once you're no longer afraid of leaving, you'll operate so much different in this relationship. The smartest fucking thing you can do, whether you do it with your therapist or especially on your own, because you'll get far more progress on your own, is begin to drill down into that fear. Actually begin to look at those voices. And so let me ask you right now, and then I want to let Casey into the room. But you said the fear is that voice, those voices inside that say, you're not good enough. You're not, lovable. You're not wantable, but you're not good enough. Who above all else in your life taught you that you're not good enough the way you are?
I have no clue.
Really? And what were those, where did those messages come from? When do you first remember believing or thinking that you're not good enough, or that you're not lovable, or that you're not worthy of love?
Probably a child.
Okay, like
Probably
how early?
8 to 9.
8 to 9. And why 8 to 9? Why not 4 to 5, or why not 13 to 14? Why 8 to 9?
I think that's when I started really noticing my dad's absence, when I would be with friends and see their dads, being present.
What was the correlation of dad's absence and my believing I'm not good enough?
Because he chose the alcohol over me.
Right. Chose
Our
something.
family.
Right. And over the family. Oh, that's right. But when you're a little girl, or a little boy, chose it over me. Daddy doesn't want me, or mommy doesn't want me. Did you ever get any explicit messages, either from dad or from mom, that you weren't good enough the way you are? It could have been in the form of, you bring home your coloring from preschool and they say, why did you color the sky purple? Ugh. Or, do you really need a second helping, sweetheart? Or, oh, that dress doesn't look good on you. Or, why are you always talking back to me? You're so sassy. What's wrong with you? Or what messages, above all else, what one or two messages do you recall getting about yourself growing up that just stuck in your head?
When adults were around, anytime I would just try to talk and join the conversation, Dad would be there going, shh, shh, just never mind, shh, shh, and I guess it was like, yeah.
And so let me ask you, what is the underlying message being conveyed to a child when they're being told, never mind, shh, shh? And they're not only being told that, it's interesting, they're not being told that at home when it's just the family. It's in front of other people. So you're being publicly humiliated. Humiliated in front of other people. What is the underlying message that the parent is sending to the child about the child? What is the parent fundamentally saying?
Like, be invisible, don't be heard, don't be heard.
That's right. Be invisible, don't be heard, because nothing you have to say is any good. Just shut up, okay? It's just not, whatever you have to say is not good enough. It's not going to be any good. Don't embarrass me.
Yeah.
Right. Be invisible, don't be heard. And so we can see how that carries over into your marriages. You're doing your best to be invisible, to make them happy, to keep your mouth shut. And so you struggle with, I asked you, what do you struggle with your intuition? You said, speaking up. I wonder where that came from. Right. You've been told. And so you got these messages growing up of never mind, shh, shh, and be invisible and so forth. Any messages you recall getting from your mom?
She did everything in the house, the yard. Dad worked hard, and he was a nice alcoholic. But he came home, watched his shows, drank, and then kind of just disappeared and drank some more. And Mom did everything.
And did your mom strike you as a particularly happy person?
No, she was sad. She was angry, lonely.
Sad, angry, and lonely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see. And so was your mom doing you any favors by what she was modeling for you in her relationship with her father or with her husband?
No.
And so the fundamental message that she was teaching you about life was what? What was she teaching her daughter about life?
Just keep trying, instead of changing, I guess, the situation, just keep
that's
going,
right.
keep
trying instead of changing. That's right. Don't rock the boat. Don't stand up. Just suck it, man. Yeah. And this is what love is what she was also teaching you. Love is fucking misery. And you have no power and just, okay, so that's a pretty powerful message. And that dad gets to watch TV and booze and go to sleep. And, granted, he, worked hard and paid for it and shit, but the child doesn't see that. The child sees, okay, and then my job is to do all the work around the house and be sad and lonely and miserable. Sad and lonely and angry. Are you sad, lonely, and angry?
Yeah.
Oh, so it turns out you didn't just learn from dad, you learned from mom, and you learned from dad. Never mind, be invisible.
Hmm.
You don't matter. Right. You can see then how, Raven, how these messages of your voice doesn't matter and just be invisible and you need to just be sad, angry, and lonely and you're not good enough, how those are pretty big voices in you and they've been there your entire life. One more question. It was around 8 or 9, you said, when dad's absence, when he began to be gone more. But was he, even when he was home prior to 8 or 9, was he
Hmm.
actually involved with you?
No, I
Right.
mean, he would, no. And
Right. So he was
yeah.
already choosing something over
Hmm.
you. You were already getting that message for
Hmm.
years before the traveling away or whatever.
Hmm.
You already
Yeah.
didn't matter. You had gotten that right.
Yeah, the only time I really remember getting to spend time with him when I was young was when he would come home after work and watch his shows. And I would just like snuggle by him and then he would just, disappear to go drink some more.
Yeah.
Hmm.
KC, come on in here. Thoughts, questions, KC?
First of all, Raven, I'm so sorry that the two most important men in your life, your current husband and your father,
Hmm.
have chosen everything pretty much over you.
Hmm.
Alcohol, addiction, other women. You don't deserve that. And I hope that you know that, and I hope through therapy and this show, and I hope you're reading Sven's book,
Yes.
you learn to appreciate yourself for all the beautiful things that you are. And you're a beautiful woman. I wish our listeners could see you like you were just gorgeous. I would just like to say to you, trust your intuition. You are so smart. You've got to just really trust what your gut is telling you. And I think your gut is likely telling you that this is pretty much done.
Hmm.
And that'll come to you whenever it happens, whenever it feels right
Hmm.
to go, because you deserve happiness. And
Right.
the question that I had for you is, what is he actually providing to your life? You kept saying that you didn't want to be without a life partner and all the love that a life partner brings you, but it
Hmm.
doesn't seem like you're getting a lot of love. So if you had to list out what it is he brings to your life, and if you can't answer this question, that's fine, but this is a question I think you really need to answer for yourself. Like, what is he giving you that you
Hmm.
cannot live without? Because in my past relationships, when I've come to the point where you are, and I started to ask myself that exact question, it was over for me. It was
Right.
done, and I was able to walk away.
And
Yeah.
and I just to piggyback on that question, what does he actually bring to your life other than keeping you from having to face being alone and devastated and the voice of I'm not good enough? What good question, Casey. What does this person, Raven, actually bring to your life?
What's the love he's bringing to your life? Because you said that you didn't want to lose the love and all the things that come
Hmm.
with a relationship, but we're not hearing what is love. So what is the love?
He is, very helpful. He, buys me things that I don't ask. He notices the little things,
Like what?
how I make my coffee and he'll make my coffee, or if, I have chronic illness. So if I, say something hurts, he'll go to the store and find something to help me. He's very loving with his words. I love yous all the time. You're beautiful. He's never made me question like how pretty I am, my body, anything like that. It's just he cannot, discuss feelings and
Chooses not to because he can.
And it's
yeah.
not and it's not just that that's not the only fault. His only fault
Mhm.
is not that he can't share his emotions with
Mhm.
you.
Chooses not to share his
It's that he
emotions with you
chooses not to
because he
share his
does it
emotions.
with he did it with that coworker. But go ahead.
Right.
Mhm.
He's gone behind your back. He's been dishonest.
Mhm.
He's got obvious addiction issues. So it's not just that.
Mhm.
It's not just that he can't. So I want you to be happy. And, I had my family, I'm just going to say this one last thing to you. I
Sure.
had my family drum into me, and Sven and Rob know this from when I was a little girl, that family, 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 family's everything.
Mhm.
And when I committed to my first husband and we had a daughter together, he went on to cheat on me. He was an alcoholic. He did every single thing wrong. So please
Mhm.
don't feel like I'm judging you, because I have been through the
No,
worst.
no.
I have had my significant other take my girlfriend out of a nightclub and, excuse me, screw her in the car on a night when we were out on a date. So I'm not judging anybody.
Whoa.
Okay. And I put up with
Wow.
that. And I
Who
put
were
up
you?
with
Who were
that.
you more angry at in that case, Casey? I gotta ask.
Oh, both of them.
Okay, fair enough. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I
So,
mean, I don't even want to go into what happened that night when
I
I
mean, because that's a
discovered
hell of a
that.
story. All right. So anyway, you've
Yeah.
had that happen.
So,
Okay.
so I had all these things happen to me. I'm not judging you at all,
Sure.
but it took so much for me to walk away from that man, because I had it drummed into me, just like you have certain things drummed into you, that family was everything. And for
Mhm.
me, he was my family because I had a child with him.
Mhm.
And when I finally decided that it was time to walk away, was when I made that list that I just talked to you about. Like, because I thought, oh, financially, I'm going to be in ruin because he's paying this amount of the bills and
Mhm.
my daughter's going to be without a father. But once he was gone, I realized that my daughter was happier. I was modeling better things for her. I actually had more money. I didn't even realize how much of our money that he was spending through. So he might have been contributing, but he was spending whatever he was contributing
Mhm.
plus whatever I was contributing. So it's just like once you get that hindsight and you walk away, you're
Mhm.
just like, why was I wasting my precious, precious life and time on this person that was never going to heal? And also, that whole maneuver where he's cheating on you and he's doing this and he's doing that, but he's
Mhm.
buying you gifts and he's got kind words.
Mhm.
That's part of gaslighting somebody. I hate to tell you that.
Mhm.
Those are little things that you mentioned that normal, healthy relationships people do for each other. They
Mhm.
give each other gifts. They go to the store for each other. They're kind with their words. They're helpful around the house. That's a given.
Mhm.
Those are things that you should expect from every single relationship. The other bigger things that are more important, you're not getting.
Yeah. And so has it kind of messed you up a little bit that he's been going to therapy and you've seen some slight changes in him? Because it's almost like, oh shit, I have hope now.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he is starting to open up more,
How
and
long has that been going on?
he's been in therapy for a year, and um, probably the last couple months, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Why did you want to come on the show? What are you most wanting or most struggling with, or what's unresolved, or what's the grand problem that you haven't solved or can't find resolution to? What's aching?
Like I wrote, it's why I don't trust myself. I don't feel worthy of love, unlovable, not worth it.
Okay. The reason you don't feel worthy of love is because the two most powerful people in your life taught a little girl that she wasn't worthy of love. Your father was teaching that long before age 8 or 9. He didn't want anything to do with you. The underlying message, he didn't even have to say it. What he was saying to you very clearly was, I don't want you. I don't want to be with you. I don't want to make my life better to be better for you. I don't care. You're not worth caring about. No matter what nice, friendly, warm, he could have been saying, oh, you're the best. I love you. I love you. I love you. But if his actions are saying something completely different, right? Actions louder than words, all that,
Yeah.
then it wouldn't have mattered. It's just bullshit, right?
Right.
But his actions, and really there was no real words. He'd come home, you'd snuggle near him, you said, while he
Yes.
watched TV. So it's not like he was even pumping energy into you. It's not like he said, hey, let's go see how your bike riding is doing. All right. Have you been practicing, sweetheart? Oh my goodness. Look at you. Come on, let's go. Okay. Now what I want you to do now is don't think about the steering. Just keep pedaling. All right. Or whatever. He didn't interact. No, he wasn't investing. And the underlying message the child is getting is you're not important. You don't matter.
Yeah.
I don't care. And with your mother, no doubt with all that she was doing with raising the home and all that, you didn't, you're getting messages from her. The underlying message you're getting through her modeling is this is what love is. So here you are in two fucking marriages and you say, I struggle with why I allow this. You allow this is because this is what you were taught about yourself, that you're not worthy of love. And you're taught that this is what love is. Love is sad, angry, and lonely. That's the definition of love. So when you say, why do I feel like I'm not worthy of love? Because this is what you were taught. And let me ask you a follow-up on that. What was the message your mother taught you about your own self and your own worth from your mother? We know what she did with her time. We know what she modeled for marriage, but how did she treat you?
She was good. She was always very busy, always, and taking care of everything. She had to, do everything, plus like take care of some elderly people in our family. And
so she was always very busy.
Yes, very busy and very, focused on Dad's drinking, wanting him to quit or being mad he was drunk.
So she's always very busy and doing all the work, and she's focused on Dad's drinking. And she had to take care of old people in the family, which technically she didn't have to. Yet it sounds like she chose to take care of the old people, but didn't interact a lot with her daughter. Is that correct? What were the interactions? What were the nature of your interactions with your mother?
I mean, we would talk a bit, but in high school, like there were none. I was so angry.
Okay, so you're angry by high school. Why were you angry by high school?
My home life.
What were you most angry? We can figure out what you were angry at Dad for. What were you most angry at Mom for?
By that time, for staying.
For staying.
And
why were you angry at her for staying?
Because I felt like if she had left and taken me and my brother, it wouldn't be around the yelling and Dad drinking all the time and, have some peace.
So you're mad at her for robbing you. So just like Dad's bottle was more important to you, to him than you, what was more important to Mom than giving her children peace?
She had told me that she was scared that she wouldn't be able to provide a life for us without him. And she was scared to rip her kids from their dad, like break up the family.
Why would she be afraid to, quote unquote, break up the family or rip the kids from their dad? The dad's a fucking drunk and she fucking knows it. The rip the kids from the dad sounds like bullshit to me, but tear up the family. What is that? What was she really afraid of? When you look back at it as a 48-year-old woman, what do you think it really was? Was it money, or what? Did she stay for money? And sacrifice her kids' peace? Was it she was just afraid of being alone? What the fuck is the real fucking reason? Then she sacrificed her children's peace.
Her dad walked out on them when she was young and chose to take care of another family.
Okay.
And she had big abandonment wounds and
so
not
what was
feeling
she,
good enough.
And so just so I'm clear, so if she walked out, she would believe that she wasn't good enough to make the marriage work, that she was just like her mom. What do you think she was really afraid of, that she kept her kids in this flying fucking shit show of a fucking family?
She thought it was, as she said, she thought it was better. But the kids had a dad.
Yeah. No. I want to know what her personal fear was, how it impacted her. Spare me the altruistic bullshit. I want to know what she was afraid of. What was the judgment she feared? What were the internal voices she feared? Or whose judgment did she fear? In one sentence or less, what was she really afraid of? Or was it for the money? What was it?
Financial, I think.
Okay,
was a
now you
big
just
one.
said three fucking different things. So I
know.
need you to really think here for a minute.
Mm,
What was it that she was really afraid of? Let me ask you this. If she had left,
mhm.
who would have been her biggest critic?
Me and my brother.
Really? Because it sounds like you
I
and your
don't
brother,
Yeah,
slow
no.
down here, Tiger.
Her.
You're getting confused now because you and your brother would have been the happiest.
Yeah.
Right. So you're saying
Mhm.
she would have been her biggest critic. Her voice inside of her saying what? You're a bad mom or you're a bad wife or what?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Which one? Bad wife or bad mom?
Bad mom.
Bad mom. And so whose voice was that inside of her?
Her dad leaving.
Her dad leaving, but which of her two parents, whose judgment did she most fear? Her mom's voice or her dad's voice?
Honestly, I think her dad, she wanted to, you know, get him in her life and, do whatever she could.
Okay. And so dad left, and so maybe that tore her up as a kid, and she said, maybe I'm not going to do that, blah, blah, blah. Even though in the case of her own self and her own kids, from your teenager perspective, are you shitting me, old woman? Ma, that would have been the best fucking thing. I wish you would have gotten me out of here. I had to live with this shit. And so as a result, that became your definition of love. And didn't she fundamentally convey by staying that you weren't important enough to her to stand up for and to give you peace?
Yeah.
Which leaves the final question of the day, which leaves the final question of the day. What are your children going to wish that you did in this situation? Not that you have to answer to them, but I'm just curious. How are you fucking your kids in this situation?
For my older three that see us and understand, it's conveying, you just tough it out and you stuff down your feelings, to just keep trying. Like you're not worth enough to make that choice to leave. Like
you
that's
said
hard
the
to
older
describe.
three, so
Yeah.
that implies there are younger kids?
Yeah. So I had 3 with my first husband and 1 with my current.
And what's the message the youngest one is getting?
He's seeing like avoidance of us working together, and then we go our separate ways when we're upset and just silence.
And so the messages of tough it out, stuff down your feelings, you're not important enough, and avoid issues. All of those messages, are those the messages you want your children to get and to have about love and about their own identity going into adulthood? Are those the messages you want them to have?
No,
So how are you going to teach them differently?
I need to trust myself and work on me and my self-esteem so I can make better choices.
And so when the day comes 20 years from now, when your oldest child is in my office and I'm asking your oldest child, what is the one reason above all else that your mom stayed and taught you the messages that just tough it out, stuff down your feelings, and you're not important enough, and avoid conflict and yell a lot and so forth. What is going to be your oldest reason for why mom stayed? Because she what?
Didn't care about him. That's my oldest boy, so that he wasn't worth it.
Is that the reason you're staying?
That is, that's been a big thing.
And if I say to him, what is she most afraid of that's keeping her there? Or what is she most wanting? Is your mom staying for money? Or what's she most afraid of? Because I'm sure your mom cares about you. I'm sure, you're important to her. So what is she so afraid of, or what is she so wanting that kept her in this relationship? What's he going to say? If I say, is it money? Did she choose money over her son? Or is she going to, or am I going to, or is he going to say, You know, if I say, or was she just afraid of her own demons and didn't want to face and really go into the deep shit of her past and didn't want to face her own loneliness and her own feelings of not good enough? What the fuck was the real reason your mom didn't get out?
Didn't face her demons.
And so what's the reason you're not facing your those demons deep inside, Mom?
I think that I would have to be honest. I would stop gaslighting myself. The truth.
And what above all, and what's the truth above all else?
You know, I am worth it, and yeah.
Yeah. And the truth is you need to use, you said you have, there's a hole in my love cup, my book. You need to use that in terms of how we've looked at it today in going into those messages that you got back there, those underlying messages, because I have those chapters in there about messaging. Those are the messages. You're not good enough. They don't care. This is what love is. These are the messages that you are getting, and they are still 50 years later. You're 48 years old. Those messages are still running your life today. They are still winning with these bullshit messages. Think about this. Do you have any girls? Is one of your children a girl?
One.
Okay. When your daughter was, let's say, 6, was she not good enough for love?
No, like she was plenty good enough. Yeah.
So why were you so shitty? If she was good enough, why were you so shitty? No, I'm asking.
Just selfish.
Oh, you were selfish.
I mean,
oh, wait. So you at 6 years old were so selfish that you weren't good enough to be loved. You literally believe that horse shit that just piled out of your fucking pie hole? Are you seriously, are you fucking insane? That a 6-year-old could be so selfish to be unworthy of love? Do you really believe that shit?
No.
A 6-year-old could be unworthy of love. You're going to try to sell that shit on my show?
No. I need to. Yeah, no. I answered that definitely wrong. So.
Yeah, you did. I was about to kick your ass.
Oh no. Yeah.
No, but they taught you that you were unworthy of love. This is bullshit. How could a 6-year-old be unworthy of love? How could your oldest son, when he was 4 or 9, be unworthy of love? It's impossible. You were taught a lie. It was never true. It's still not true. That's what KC said so marvelously. You're not unworthy of love. You're a wonderful woman, but you were just taught a fucking lie. Your whole life is based on a fucking lie that you have been living out ever since.
Yeah.
Well, Raven, I want to thank you so much for being on the show. You've been a terrific guest.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you really are. You're smart and you have a big heart and so forth. But I love what your therapist is doing and teaching you to stand up for yourself. But you got to get into those past messages, because that's what's keeping you stuck in your life and causing you to not trust yourself, is those bullshit lies you were taught as a kid. Got to dive into those and start digging those out, rooting those out. Okay.
Yeah.
And come back and let us know how you're doing.
Yes.
I will. Thank you guys so much. I enjoy you guys so much.
You're very
Thank
sweet.
you.
Thank
for
you.
being so brave.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rob, any final thoughts?
I'm hopeful for her. I also understand how hard it is. So she has just my very best wishes. I know this is an enormous challenge. She loves the guy.
Yeah.
So let's get past that. That's not easy.
No, it's not easy. But it also that letting go, this disengaging from a person is not a process that has to take forever. The deeper we go in and the harder we attack it, it can be done. That turnaround can be done quickly. You did it. You turned it around pretty quickly in your life.
Yeah.
It was hard.
Got to the fuck it point.
All right. Well, on behalf of my team, to everyone listening around the world, to Raven's really brilliant story, yet hard and tragic story. We know we've all each had our own demons we have to face, and looking at hard truths, just like Demon Raven. I almost said no, not Demon Raven. Good Raven facing her demons. Yes. So to everyone tuning in around the world, thanks so much for tuning in. I am Sven Erlinson, the host of the Badass Counseling Show. On behalf of my team, slay your demons and have a kick-ass day.
The Badass Counseling Show is strictly copyrighted. No copies may be made without the express written consent of the Badass Counseling Show, LLC. The Badass Counseling Show is produced by Karen Camparelli and Robert H. Friedman. Executive producer Sven Erlandson. Original music by two-time Emmy Award-winning composer Trevor Morris. Have a kick-ass day.